Okay, Mark,
right.
we're rolling
We're
here.
rolling.
Mosaic.
Great.
So this is for example, the top of a Sunday, and we are needing to program some cues of scenes for the whole day, basically, for a service.
Yep. So you don't need to worry about, turn these off. These can stay up as long as they're off. These play buttons will fire off. This one's pass or light. Second one, on off toggles. So there it's on, there it's off. Fader 2 is left and right. Worship leader front lights. That's just to give them light on stage if they want light or whatever. Third one is center vocals. On off. Now, if you want to always keep them on, so now they're all on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then fade them up and down. You can do it that way too, or do whatever, however combination you want. I would suggest keeping them, the faders up, but then turning them off, on and off individually as needed on stage. So now I'm going to program, say, an opening look during walk-in, when people are kind of walking in, sitting down, all that jazz. I'm going to create my first look from the live tab, which is right here. I'm going to say, just for kicks and giggles, I'll say this: I want the colored lights to be on, and I want them to be red during walk-in. So now you've created this look in the live tab. So if I click the live tab, it's all going to go away, and you're reset again. If I click this, turn those lights on again, turn them on, go to red. I want to save this opening look into this fader bank, cue list, if you will.
Fader 5.
Fader
Right.
5,
Yeah.
yep. So there's two ways to do that. You can either hit the yellow modifier button, and then hit the star button right above that, and that dedicates all that information you just programmed in the live tab to that fader 5.
Mm-hmm.
Another way to do that is just take your mouse and go up to, I think it's new cue list, and you've just created a new cue list. So now I can clear out of my live tab. Maybe not actually. Let me back up. So I would do it this way. Find your lights, turn them on, do the color you want, whatever. Hold down your yellow modifier key, hit the star button above that fader, and that's your opening look. So now I can call this, say, opening look, or whatever you want to call it. So now say first song is going to happen. I'm going to create my second cue after this first one's been selected. So there's my second cue. I'll call it, say, first song. I want to change lights to be, let's do like a little purple on the top and bottom, and the middle two, let's just do like a little blue or something, a little cyan. That's another way to create your first song look. If you want to change colors in the song, you can. You just create a new cue after what you already created. Say that's your first song, create a second cue, say second song, choose your colors, whatever colors you want, yada, yada, yada. Let's do a little white and blue or something.
Excuse me.
So that's your second song. Colors. Now, what you can do is you can, instead of worrying about these faders for individual worship leader lights during the service, you can program their lights into this cue list. So say if we have the left and right vocal up there on stage, but obviously they're going to start singing the first song. So I'm going to go back to my first song, make sure I have the first song selected and linked up. Always do link. Turn their lights on, and then those lights will stay on the entire cue list. So if I keep programming cues, they'll stay on until I tell them to turn off. So second song, I'm gonna hit play. Colors change, but their lights stay up.
Okay. So again, what is the link actually?
So link
Connect.
is just kind of like, if I turn this off, you can edit the cue list,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna change on stage.
Okay.
So I always link it. That way, when you click on it, you see the colors
See what's
change.
happening.
Now I can go to opening look.
Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of jumps around.
All right. That
Yep.
makes sense. So keep that on to see
Yep,
what's
I
really
keep
happening.
link on all the time. And then you can label this whole thing by clicking this X. Say if you got all your songs done,
Uh-huh.
you're programming, you're doing your thing. If you
Yeah.
want a black cue at the end, call it black. You can kill all your lights, and then there's no stage lights, and that's your black cue. That gives you the freedom to use the worship leader lights or the pastor's light individually without having that programmed in there, in theory.
Okay, so what we've just done here then is assign cues to fader 5, and all you have to do is hit the play button to launch each cue. With, in this example, we're doing a 2-second fade, and that way this makes it so you don't have to use the faders unless you want to. Is that correct? Like the faders are still there if you wanted to pull.
In theory, on-off toggles, pastor, left and right worship leader, center worship leader. If you want manual controller, this want stage lights for any reason, you can play off of those.
Right.
But in theory, all you have to do is hit this play button after you program your Sunday. And just hit that play button for whatever songs come up next or whatever look you want. You can program it into this Sunday block if you want to.
Right.
So then what I can do is I can label this by hitting the X button and call it Sunday service. We'll just use 10 or 1. Where's it go? 1-10-16. And then you can save it. So now it's saved to this cue list. I would go into your playback window on Sunday when you're trying to play it. That way you can see here, oh, okay. Let's play through already. I'm gonna release it by hitting the green button and then the star button. That just releases all the songs. Boom. You don't have to do that with the worship lights or whatever, just with the songs. And that way, you selected it, you can hit play, and there's your opening look, and you can play to each cue that way.
And then we've also got the I don't know what the button is called. Underneath the fader is a kind of an undo or backup.
Yeah, I created this. What you can do is you can go into your console window, and you have cue list buttons that you can change anything on this console window to be whatever is here. So if you want this to be a pause button, you can have it be a pause button. You can have this flash. You can have it jump. So I put this skip back right here on this button right here. So that's now your skip back. So if you go too far, you can hit that once and it'll jump back to a previous cue. So now we're going backwards.
I see. Okay. Cool.
Does that work? I wonder if pause will do that too, actually. Let me try something here just for kicks and giggles. So now I'm on Q4. Okay, so here's what I did. I changed it to pause, just because pause is a smoother transition than skip. Skip is instant. Pause is, I can show you on this window
Pause
here.
takes the fade into account?
Yes.
Okay.
So see, there it goes fading. So if I play down here, so say if I go too far, they're rocking out, and you're like, oh, sorry, I went too far. Hit pause. It should just fade back to where you were previously.
Like a backwards fade.
Yeah, like
That's
a backwards
pretty cool.
fade, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So that's
and then
pause now.
if you want to create colors or whatever in your black cue, you can. Just keep in mind that whatever's in your black cue will always be up there. So like say if you want that same opening look in your black cue, you can. You just got to program it in there. So then to go back into your edit window, you just go to yellow, the star button again. So now we're editing it. But now I want those same 6 lights to be on and red in my black cue. So that way it kind of bookends the start and finish. So now opening look is identical to the ending, the black cue.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. All right, thanks, Mark.
Cool.